Hello, I'm Anita Winters and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to create something beautiful together. So let's do it. I'm not going to go into the details about the products that I'm using in this video. I'll share the link below so you can check it out. It will have the exact things that you'll see today. I start with masking the edges. It's not necessary and I don't do it every time. It's just, in my opinion, looks more tidy, and it also makes it easier to frame after if you decide so. I'm using a simple masking tape, a little bit here. I'm using watercolors to create the base. Please don't judge my use of watercolors. I know I should be taking better care of it. So I don't think too much choosing the color. I just pick with the first glance. Today I'm using the brown. And you just basically just let your hand flow. Don't concentrate, don't control it. Just take your brush for a walk. If you realize that you are starting to focus on it, try to change hands or rotate your paper. That should help. There is no right or wrong doing. If you feel, even if you feel like you don't like something or made a mistake, don't worry, it will be covered up with multiple patterns and layers. I'll use some blue as well. So as you can see how brutally I use my watercolors, you can understand why they are so dirty. Of course, ideally you should use clean water, but again, we're not creating a delicate watercolor painting. It's just to fill up the background, and it gives us some organic lines and shapes to work with. So just trust the process, they say. Just a little bit of brown here and there, and we'll let it dry. So now it's all dry and ready for us to work with. Okay, I kept it under the mat to straighten it up. So I will be using for this drawing my acrylic pens. Not sure the color yet, and these Posca markers with thicker tip, the black and the white one. Also for the thin lines, I like to use Micron. It's also good to have a cup, an empty cup, where I usually put my pens that I'm working with on this particular drawing, so they're not getting mixed up with the rest. So what you can do, we can take a pen and follow these lines, work around them, or we can ignore the lines and take a fat tip marker and go over it, over everything. Or you can start working on a small area, filling it up with little delicate lines and then balancing it up with the rest of the picture. So what I'm gonna do, I will be using this black marker and see where it takes me. I suggest having a piece of paper on the side because paint pans need to be shaken well before use, and then you press the tip against the paper to get the better paint flow. And also you don't want any blot on your picture, which is not the end of the world, but better to avoid. So I'm gonna just follow, I think I'm just gonna follow some lines at some areas, and I'll go over it at the others. Not thinking, not focusing, just let your hand flow. And again, if you think you made a mistake, you didn't. it will work out perfectly well at the end. Trust your intuition. It will work perfectly. And so I'm just making some lines, some shapes here and there. I pick my colors spontaneously. It's like an instinct. I pick some crazy colors sometimes, and just let it make it work. Like this yellow one. Yeah, not sure if the video can transmit the brightness of this neon yellow. Well, it's pretty odd. But if you have your favorite colors that you like to work with, or you have an idea of certain pattern or palette, it's good to be prepared, but being spontaneous sometimes can be rather rewarding too. Patterns, how I choose my patterns, how do I come up with them? It's all stored in my head and just pops up naturally when needed. It wasn't always like that. At the beginning, when I just started to doodle, it was not coming easy to me. And what I did, I'd go to Instagram, Pinterest, and just gaze at all those amazing artists out there and get inspired. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to go and copy others' works. This way you will not find your style. What I did, I like the colors on one painting and shapes from the other, patterns from another, and yeah, I'll even draw a little sketch on the side, on the little paper, so I can remember it better if I really liked something. So it's like firing and wiring together those neurons. I also started paying more attention to the surroundings, the outside. It sounds very basic, but then nature has infinitive variety of inspiration. It's home to a countless forms, shapes, colors, and textures, and can inspire creativity in different ways. Also, creativity increases with practice. The more you engage, the more likely you are to become better at it and to generate new and innovative ideas. So, creativity is a skill that can be developed. I'm using watercolor paper and it is absorbing the paint very well. So sometimes I have to do a couple of layers in one spot, especially on the darker background, or I will use a white pen first and then apply the color so it comes up brighter. If you have a better suggestion on the paper that works good for watercolor as well as for paint pens, please leave a comment. You remember where we started this video, and now you can barely see the background, how it's grown with color and details. The intuitive art is a powerful tool to self-expression and the personal growth. By tapping into your inner creativity, you can create unique and meaningful works of art that can reflect your personality and your emotions. Whether you are an experienced artist or a beginner, there is no right or wrong way to approach intuitive art. Simply trust your instincts, let go of judgment, and allow the creativity process to guide you.